Hi church, it's Finlay here. It's been great to be at home in the Highlands this January, but I'm looking forward to being back with you all next week. To give a little bit of context to what I'm going to say, it's worth noting that in my professional life, I am the Policy and Public Affairs Manager at a leading school food charity called Magic Breakfast. I work with experts who study child poverty and deprivation, and then I work to create and advocate for public policy solutions to fix it. I made a short paper for Andy and Adele at the end of last year on poverty and need in the Abbey Hill Baptist Church area. Poverty is a widely understood term, but need is much more subjective, and I chose to look at human deprivation. The first thing I had to do was define the area I was going to take a look at. Now, unlike other denominations, we don't have anything like a parish or a diocese to link back to. I used my own judgment and defined our area as those places surrounding Easter Road and Leith Walk, Abbey Hill proper, Loch End, Wrestlerigg, Seafield and Meadowbank. Others may disagree, but this analysis is based on those areas. The first thing I took a look at is what's called the Scottish Index of Multiple Deprivation, or SIMD. This is commonly considered to be the gold standard for deprivation mapping in Scotland, especially in dense urban areas like Edinburgh. How this works is Scotland is split into thousands of quite small areas and then ranked from 1 to 10 over 7 factors. For each factor, a 10 means the area is the least deprived in this regard, and a 1 is the opposite. The factors considered are income, employment, health, education, housing, geographic access, so transport, and crime. Areas are then given a single overall figure as well. The area our church is in is a 6. However, this is mostly drawn from positive, so above 5 scores in income, employment, health and geographic access. On housing, we score just 1, meaning that this area is one of the most deprived for housing in the country. Looking at that wider area I described, there are places that overall score a 1 and overall score a 10 and in between, but looking at trends, housing is consistently below 5 and often at 1. Crime and education also sit very low on average. This would suggest that the top 3 areas of concern in our wider church community are housing, crime and education. I also looked at the Edinburgh Poverty Commission, which gives some wider overall figures for the area that we're in. It shows that the northeast of Edinburgh, where we are, has a poverty rate of 22%, with 26,000 people living in poverty. This compares to the citywide average of 16% of people living in poverty. I also looked briefly at other faith-based organisations already working in our area, conscious of not duplicating services for people. This includes Fresh Start, a homelessness charity, and the Edinburgh North East Food Bank. It's also important to note that it is best practice to involve those with lived experience of need in designing interventions, and that's not what I've done in this piece of work. But we could do this through a number of routes. One option would be to fund the engagement of a research agency to conduct a needs analysis to better understand the local requirements for our area. But overall, I wanted to help paint a picture from an academic perspective of what need is said to look like in our area. Data never lies, but it can obscure reality. It's important for us to be willing to get out there and engage with people to understand the reality of their lives. Hopefully this has been helpful to you all. May God's blessings be with you, and I'll see you all again very soon.